I made this YouTube channel 4 months ago to release this specific video. A video about how and why I think the next Mass Effect will expand into a multiverse. BioWare has carefully been putting pieces of the multiverse puzzle in place throughout the entire series, with some pieces hidden in the most unlikely of places. And if I'm right, the next Mass Effect is going to blow the collective minds of all Mass Effect fans. But first, I think you guys need some context as to exactly why I think the next Mass Effect team is going to do something as massive as unleashing a multiverse. I first started playing Mass Effect back in August of 2022 and finished the trilogy on New Year's Day of this year. Immediately after finishing it, one of my friends was like, "You have to watch this teaser trailer for the next game." So in my emotionally numb state, I watched it. And my first thought was, why isn't Liara's skin green? I had just finished choosing the synthesis ending, where every species had this weird techno-green looking thing going on. So why wasn't Liara's skin techno-green? My second thought, after watching it 3 more times, was, they're bringing Shepard back. Shepard died, and now Shep's back. That's when the theory wheels began turning in my head. Well, guess I chose the wrong ending. It must be Control or Destroy that's the canon. I felt a little bit slighted, but I had just finished the trilogy, so I wasn't too attached to a canon ending being chosen that wasn't the one that I picked. So the next day, I reloaded my save and watched the Control and Destroy endings. And that's when I saw that Shepard in the perfect Destroy ending lived. Or at least breathed. Furiously Googling if Destroy was canon, and realizing that most fans agreed that it was, I was satisfied. There were no theories to make, it was time to wait out the next Mass Effect. And then I played Mass Effect Andromeda. Now I am not exaggerating when I say I disliked playing Mass Effect Andromeda about 75% of the time. The lack of quality storytelling, Ryder not having a satisfying story arc, every Asari looking identical after the diversity of the trilogy, the insane loading times, driving around in the Nomad, everything made me mad. To the point where I was missing the trilogy so much, I made my entire class build around wearing the N7 outfit, so I was exclusively using biotic powers. I only used the Archangel skin on the Nomad, so I could remember Garrus. At one point, I used Singularity and pretended that it was Liara who did it. Yep, that was the lowest point. And then, while angrily raging through the game, I stumbled across a side mission that blew my mind. This side mission changed everything about what I thought the next Mass Effect was going to do. It gave birth to the multiverse theory. I'll share which side mission it was later on in the video. After that side quest, I watched the trailer back a dozen more times. And that's when I had the realization that the planet in the trailer was Alchera. A quick search confirms that other Mass Effect creators thought it was Alchera too. Watching their theories on why it was Alchera though didn't make sense to me. What if my absolutely crazy theory was legit? What if this Alchera is in an alternate universe? And that's when I knew I needed to make this YouTube channel. I needed to make this video. So, without further ado, here is the complete multiverse theory. Over the past 4 months since I started this channel, I've been analyzing the past hints the BioWare team has dropped for the next Mass Effect. In every video, I've had this video in the back of my mind, bringing together all the pieces of the puzzle to formulate the craziest theory out there. Before that though, let me show you a moment from Mass Effect 3 where it shows EDI discussing the potential of a multiverse.
What's on your mind, EDI?
Liara recently requested assistance in calculating whether the Mass Effect is a phenomenon that occurs only in our universe, or in all possible universes. It may be that our laws of physics only occur in a finite area, a bubble if you will, in an ocean of other possibilities. I am speculating whether, if you went far enough out, or created enough energy, you could reach a place where 1 + 1 = 3. Everything would change. All energy, all matter, all the underlying math of the universe would be unrecognizable to us. Why? What were you thinking?
I'll get back to you on that.
BioWare themselves introduced the idea of a multiverse, so it's well within the realm of their IP. Keep that in mind as we go through this. Alright, let's start at the beginning. The first hint the BioWare team provided to us was on N7 Day 2020. It featured this picture of a Mudskipper with 4 people beside it. 2 of these profiles match characters that have a very high likelihood of dying in all playthroughs of the trilogy, Mordin and Thane. The third profile matches Jal, and Angara from Mass Effect Andromeda. The fourth is someone new, I presume, since I couldn't find a matching profile from the people we know. So, Multiverse hint number 1. I think the Mass Effect team is hinting at Mordin and Thane's return, and somehow Jal is going to be involved in the next game. Also, I fully understand that what I just showed you guys was probably concept art, but just keep this hint in the back of your mind as we continue to go through this. Then, the Mass Effect team dropped the insane teaser trailer that broke everyone during the Game Awards in December of 2020. The most important section in the trailer is after the Mudskipper descends to what I believe to be Alchera. I've seen multiple takes on whether this is Alchera, so I'll go over my assumptions here. The first are the 3 moons and cold atmosphere, which directly matches Alchera's. We'll skip over the fact that it primarily has a methane atmosphere for now, but I do have an explanation for that. The main hint for it being Alchera is the N7 helmet piece that Liara picks up. To me, this is a clear indication of Shepard returning. It's not James Vega, it's not Alec Ryder, it's not some random N7 person we haven't met yet. Liara would only brush the snow off a helmet piece this specific way for one person, Commander Shepard. And I find it too big of a coincidence to ignore that Alchera fits both the visuals seen here and to be a planet where Shepard has previously died. I've seen various explanations for which planet this is. For example, PB's homeworld, Ploba from Mass Effect 1, and even Habitat 7 from the Andromeda Galaxy. I personally don't think that any of those worlds make sense, for one simple reason. Mass Effect Andromeda. BioWare's last Mass Effect release that wasn't a remaster was a game that many RPG fans use as an example of what not to do. I know a lot of Mass Effect fans enjoyed the content, and I'm very happy if you did. But without modding it, it's just not the level that I've come to expect from BioWare. Nor should it be. The main point here, however, is that the BioWare team can't afford to get fans excited about the potential return of Shepard, only to bring back an N7 like Alec Ryder. They can't afford to have 2 misses in a row after the backlash from Mass Effect Andromeda. So, Multiverse hint number 2. Shepard is being recovered from Alchera. And here's where the multiverse theory comes into play. Like most fans, I thought that the Destroy ending was going to be canon. It's the simplest explanation. There's dead Reapers in the trailer, and Shepard could have somehow survived from the perfect Destroy ending. But then, things started not adding up. On my second playthrough of Mass Effect, I realized that the helmet Shepard wears gets evaporated in the lead-up before the final beam. So this helmet in the trailer can't be the one Shepard wore in any of the endings. It's a different helmet. Naturally, I then thought that it was the helmet that was already on Alchera before, but the player can pick that up during the Normandy crash site mission. So why is there an N7 helmet still on Alchera? And why can Liara breathe in a methane atmosphere? I think it's because this is an Alchera from an alternate universe, and the Shepard that Liara is recovering is from an alternate universe. To clarify some misconceptions that I've been getting in the comments regarding this theory, I am not saying that the next Mass Effect will entirely take place in an alternate universe. That would be incredibly dumb and basically throw player choice out the window. BioWare would once again get flamed by fans, which is why they won't do that. However, I do think that they are going to commit to the Shepard from the trilogy being killed off. They can't really walk that back because they would invalidate the trilogy's conclusion. And I sincerely don't think that they're going to canonize an ending from Mass Effect 3 because it would immediately invalidate a whole bunch of players' individual ending choices. BioWare needs to satisfy the largest number of Mass Effect fans they can, while staying true to their IP. They want Shepard back, but they can't get the trilogy Shepard back. So they said, let's go grab an alternate universe one. In my theory, Liara from our universe goes to the alternate universe, grabs that Shepard, and then returns to our universe. And if this Alchera from the trailer is from an alternate universe, where 1 + 1 = 3 like Edie mentioned, then maybe Alchera's atmosphere is breathable. Now, there are obviously major problems with this theory. I'll be the first to admit that. Bringing back an alternate universe version of Mordin and Thane would invalidate the deaths of our Mordin and Thane. Opening up into a multiverse lessens the importance of our current universe. Too many franchises are doing multiverses. And of course, the most obvious issue. If you grab an alternate universe version of Shepard, it's not our Shepard. It's not the Shepard that we spent countless hours saving the galaxy with. But with regards to that last point, BioWare already has a solution for this. Their solution being that our Shepard will return in the next Mass Effect via reincarnation. And the BioWare team establishes this in Mass Effect Andromeda with the insane side mission that kickstarted the multiverse theory. The side mission is called A Dying Planet and takes place on Havarl. On that planet, only 2 monoliths are working instead of 3, which is causing environmental problems. As an Angara sage reveals to us, only an Angara that died long ago knew how to activate the third monolith. But then he says this.
Reincarnation. The soul that's returned time and again. An unbroken thread. There was one, long ago, who had knowledge of the third monolith. Zorai, a champion of the Angara from before the Scourge. Zorai's soul has returned and could be made to remember what it knew. But we have no contact with it.
So you're saying there's some way we can make people remember their past lives?
Souls retain within families. An object, heirloom tied closely to that bloodline could cause memories to resurface.
The memories of the Angara who died can be recovered by presenting him with an old item that holds personal significance. And in that mission, we present him with his past life's heirloom, and he begins to remember the memories of his previous life. With these memories, we're able to restore the third monolith, thus restoring Havarl's environment. Throughout Mass Effect, the concept of a soul is established. During conversations with Thane in Mass Effect 2, Thane brings up how some humans believe in a soul moving on after death, similar to the Drell's soul concept.
Humans often believe in a soul distinct from the body, a spirit responsible for moral reasoning that lives on after the body's death. Our belief is just a bit more literal.
During Morden's loyalty mission, he mentions how Solarians believe in the Wheel of Life.
Wheel of Life. Popular Solarian concept, similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here.
And who could forget Legion's heartbreaking resolution with Tali during the Rannoch mission in Mass Effect 3.
Do you remember the question that caused the creators to attack us, Talizora? Does this unit have a soul?
Legion, the answer to your question was yes.
I know, Tali. But thank you. Kira Sanai.
If an alternate universe version of Shepard is brought back, then Multiverse Hint number 3, reincarnation of Shepard's soul, will be the way that our Shepard retains who they are. But the best part about this is that the Mass Effect team built in a way where we can avoid getting our Shepard back if we don't want to. We'll probably be able to choose to not hold our heirloom and recover our memories, which I think will either be an old piece of Shepard's armor or the dog tags that Liara saved for us in Mass Effect 2. We'll be able to move forward as a new protagonist if that's what we want, with no guilt about starting a new romance. Or we can rekindle our old relationships in an incredibly meaningful way. With regards to whether reincarnation will play a role in the next title, simply look to project director for the next Mass Effect, Mike Gamble's tweet about the teaser trailer. He says, "I'm so lucky to be able to share our vision of the future of Mass Effect. We dreamed of taking this first step with you, and we know you care about this universe as much as we do. I've thought about this almost every day for the past 1,360 days. Thank you." So, Director Gamble was thinking about Shepard's return for 1,360 days. He tweeted that on December 10th, 2020, when the teaser trailer dropped. Now, what date was 1,360 days before the trailer dropped? March 21st, 2017, the release date of Mass Effect Andromeda. They've been planning Shepard's return since Mass Effect Andromeda, and they've created a way to reincarnate our Shepard that we've spent countless hours playing with. It could be that this Shepard isn't from an alternate universe, but then why establish the entire concept of reincarnation? You only introduce a concept like this into a game if it's going to move the story forward in a meaningful way. The instant I saw that Angara get back the memories of his old life, I knew this might be the way that our Shepard was going to return. Now, bringing Shepard back from an alternate universe is great and all, but now there are a couple of major contradictions that we see in the teaser trailer. A couple of pretty big ones. We'll get to those in a bit. To those that say that the teaser trailer is more metaphorical, Mike Gamble himself has put that to rest with a few of his other tweets. He replied to fans saying that multiple things in the trailer were intentional, to watch and listen closely, and even mentioned that the 3 companions with Liara are people that we could guess. This isn't concept art that might mean nothing. This trailer is very legit and holds a lot of hints for the upcoming game. With regards to Morden and Thane potentially being back, I personally think that they could grab alternate universe versions of them, but with new twists, so that they feel like new characters. We could have an older Mordin that never created the genophage, or a Thane that never had a family and is a ruthless assassin through and through. And I get it. Some fans are very hesitant to get behind the idea of a multiverse because of other fandoms that have had it and have been delivered very poorly. I think that all it comes down to, though, is that most multiverses are written very poorly. With Mary DeMarle as the senior narrative director for the next game, and screenwriter Michael Tucker leading the charge, though, I'm confident that they'll be able to figure out how to make it work in a meaningful way. So, our Shepard could potentially return via reincarnation. But now, there are some problems that we need to address. And don't worry, Doctor Strange is going to help us solve the second problem. Before we get into the problems, though, don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed the analysis so far. Like I mentioned, this video is why I made this channel in the first place, so I am definitely going to make more like this one. Alright, back to the problem at hand. In the teaser trailer, there's a big contradiction if it is indeed in an alternate universe. Shepard is dead on Alchera, and the Reapers are also dead. How could the Reapers be dead if Shepard wasn't the one who took them out? Now, I'm going to be heavily speculating here. I don't have any evidence to support this, but I will try to remain logical in my conclusions. My logical solution to this contradiction is that the Reapers were taken out by a force other than Shepard, and by extension, Shepard was never recovered from Alchera because the Reapers were already taken out. Shepard was only coveted by the Shadow Broker and brought back by the Elusive Man because of Shepard's ties to the Reapers. Remove the threat of the Reapers from Shepard's past, and suddenly, Shepard probably isn't worth saving in their eyes. I don't know exactly how the Reapers died in this alternate universe, but again, if 1 + 1 = 3 here, then it could have been any number of ways. I personally think the Reapers were taken out by the Crucible at some point in history, before Shepard had a chance to do so. Now, if my theory is correct that Shepard died after the Reapers were already taken out, it raises an even bigger contradiction. How did the Shepard in the alternate universe die? In the alternate universe, if there were no living Reapers when Shepard was alive, then there would be no collectors, and thus no collector ship to take out the Normandy SR-1. And again, I don't fully know the answer to this, but I can speculate on BioWare's answer by examining another well-known multiverse franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One MCU show in particular comes to mind when trying to come up with why Shepard was taken out in the alternate universe. What If? A show where different scenarios unfold depending on a single choice differing for a specific character. Sound familiar, Mass Effect fans? The biggest clue to alternate universe Shepard's death lies in the Doctor Strange episode of What If. In that episode, Doctor Strange, before he became a skilled surgeon, loses his girlfriend, Dr. Christine Palmer, in a tragic car accident. Devastated by her death, Strange discovers an artifact called the Eye of Agamotto, which can manipulate time, but is warned not to use it because it could harm reality. Driven by his grief, Strange tries to change the past and save Palmer using the eye, but every attempt at saving her fails. They fall off a cliff and into a river. Christine experiences a fatal medical emergency. They skip the event entirely, but she is still tragically shot by a robber. In the show, it's explained that altering Palmer's death would cause a dangerous paradox that could destroy the universe. So, what if the same concept applied to alternate universe Shepard? What if no matter the circumstances, Shepard has to die and fall to Alchera? With regards to how, it could be any number of ways. The engine in the Normandy could overheat and explode. There could be a rogue agent on board the Normandy that overpowers Joker and crash lands on Alchera. A different ship arrives and destroys the Normandy. Anything could happen, because maybe in that universe, Shepard is always meant to die. There's obviously no evidence that I can use to back this up, but I do think that those types of scenarios are what the BioWare team would run with. So with the two biggest contradictions being somewhat explainable, does Mass Effect even have the means to pull a multiverse off? I think that the teaser trailer and Mass Effect Andromeda both provide a definitive yes. In the teaser trailer, a voice mentions anomalies all across space.
Anomaly readings all across space. Anomaly readings all across space. Anomaly readings all across space.
I think these anomalies appearing were caused by the Crucible energy wave released at the end of Mass Effect 3. EDI mentioned every universe being like a bubble, and if enough energy is created, that we could reach a place where 1 + 1 = 3. This large creation of energy could be from the Crucible superweapon, resulting in anomalies in space. Or, as I've speculated in a past video, wormholes. These wormholes could be used to connect two so-called bubbles, thus connecting two universes. I dive into this in much greater detail in this video, So definitely go check that out if you want the full wormholes explanation. Also, link in the description below. Long story short though, Mass Effect Andromeda has once again provided the proof we need. The concept of Multiverse Hint number 4, wormholes, connecting space-time from one place to another. These wormholes are how I think Liara and crew go to recover Shepard in an alternate universe. And might also be the way the Andromeda crew return to the Milky Way, going back in time to the date 2190, teased in the N7 Day 2022 intercept. Again, I go into this in way more detail in my previous video. As to how exactly Liara and crew go through these wormholes, I think that the Mass Effect team has already provided us with that answer too. The supposed new relay that humanity is building against the Council's wishes.
Exactly. The Council will be furious. Although they should know by now not to underestimate. I can see it differently. How did we miss that? Exactly. The Council will be furious. Although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance. That's worse than most I can see it.
I speculate that Liara finds out about this relay and takes advantage of it to go through a wormhole and bring Shepard back from an alternate universe. Now, there are obviously still a ton of issues with this theory. No theory is perfect, hence why it's a theory and not confirmed yet. But until another new hint comes out that destroys the multiverse theory, I'll be running with this one for now. Not to say that I won't be covering other theories. If there is another theory out there that is even more legit, I'll definitely be covering it on this channel. And just to clarify, I could not care less if this theory is completely wrong. I'm not making up theories to try and be correct. I made this channel because I thought that the multiverse could be the way that Shepard returns, and I didn't see anybody else even discussing the possibility. So here we are. That being said, I am here for any and all theories. Being a Mass Effect fan and a part of this awesome community means way more to me than a random theory that is most likely wrong. Let me know in the comments below what this franchise means to you, or if you think that the multiverse theory is kinda legit. It's the best part of my day reading and discussing Mass Effect with you guys. If you want to get even more hyped about the next Mass Effect, and to dive into more multiverse theory craziness, check out my playlist on Mass Effect 5 theories right over here. Until then, I'm Atharia, and this is my favorite franchise on the Citadel.
Logging you out, Shepard.